There we go. Welcome. Glad you're here. It's wonderful and a little odd that when we're stuffed into this room, like all these people come. So it feels a little like Yom Kippur afternoon when we do the meditation. So we're fine. It's Yom Kippur afternoon with Skinny Pop. That you don't get on Yom Kippur. All right. So I'm really glad you're here. Happy to welcome people who are new. Welcome. And We'll talk a little bit about format here. I'll lead a guided meditation for the first part, and then we will sit silently for a few minutes, usually sing something together, and then I'll do a little teach, and then see, what did I tell you? Come on in. Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Are we? Oh, here you go. Yeah. Oh, there's our chairs. Yeah.
Here in the corner. I think we're good.
Are we good?
I think so.
Okay.
Here, you can have this one. Someone else. Nice big one. And also,
We are in here because
sorry, Steve.
according to the engineer's report about the sanctuary, it is possible that there could be like catastrophic collapse of like the balcony, among other things. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
My summary was don't breathe on the sanctuary.
Right. Yeah, I mean the chapel until the sanctuary is stabilized and safe, we have to be out of the chapel. So that is why we're here. All right. So let me invite everybody to find a position in your seat where you can be comfortable. If you have a book rather, and you don't want to be dealing with it, you can just stick it on the table. If you just want to really have all of your body just kind of free. Find a way of sitting in your chair and take the time to adjust your posture that feels stable and comfortable and enables you to feel at ease. I sometimes like to say or to point out that we don't usually think of sitting as being an activity in and of itself. Popular culture, the way we speak, we often think of sitting as being not doing anything. We say, I'm just sitting here. But sitting is indeed an activity in the sense that we can bring attention to it, and we can bring what in Hebrew is called kavanah, which means intention or deliberateness to it. And sometimes just being still, not having to run anywhere, not having to check anything off a list, just being able to be quiet and still, and being fully aware and in touch with how it feels to be quiet and still, can just be a gift that we give to ourselves. Because it is easy to forget what it is like to be peaceful. And it is easy to forget what it is like to be at ease. So just let yourself feel the sensations in your body that arise as you sit here. I meant to mention earlier that if you are comfortable, if it feels okay to you to have your eyes gently closed, you can do that. If that doesn't feel okay to you, that is totally fine. And you can just let your eyes just softly, gently focus on some spot in front of you so that you have an object to focus on. Even now, if you have the sense that shifting your body slightly in some way might make you even 3% more comfortable, feel free to do that. It's okay. Notice the sensations in your extremities, your hands and your feet. Not trying to move or change anything, just seeing what's there. There might be a sensation of temperature. There might be tingling or something that feels pleasant or unpleasant. Whatever is there, just notice it, just be with it. You might also pay attention to those places where you sense your body in contact with your chair or your seat. Might be the hips and the sit bones, or the chair supporting underneath your thighs. If you're in a chair here or at home that has a back to it, you might notice where the back of the chair contacts your body, maybe your lower back, the lower part of your spine. And knowing and trusting that the chair will hold you up, you can relax and let go of any tightness or constriction that's not necessary for you to just be sitting here. I wanted to spend some time with a beautiful line from Tehillim, which is the Hebrew for Psalms, the biblical book of Psalms. It is the very end of the book of Psalms, the very last phrase. That is, it's the last phrase in Psalm 150. The Hebrew words may be familiar to you. If not, that's okay. They go Kol HaNeshama Tehalel Ya, Hallelujah. Kol HaNeshama, the word Neshama is usually translated as soul in later Hebrew. In biblical Hebrew, it seems to mean life or breath or living creature. Kol HaNeshama, every life, every breath, everything that lives, Tahalel Yah, offers praise to the Eternal. Yah is a gender neutral and sort of general term for God. Kol HaNeshama Tahalel Yah, let every thing that is alive, or every life, or all life, gives praise to the infinite, the eternal one. Hallelujah, the Hebrew word that means the all praise God. One way of embodying this verse is to understand neshama as being related to the closely related Hebrew word neshima. Neshama and neshima. Neshima means breath. So you could read that as, let every breath praise the Eternal, or every breath is praise, or everything that breathes offers praise. And it may be that what that line is asking of us or trying to elicit in us is not anything that we would conventionally think of as prayer. It may be that what that verse is pointing to us is simply the recognition that noticing our own, what can be called in Hebrew chiyut, that just noticing, that just reflecting upon, that just remembering that we are alive, that you are alive, that you breathe, that the act of waking up to remember I am alive this day, that appreciating that seeing that is in and of itself an offering, an expression of praise for life and for the source of life. Nothing special we have to say, no special words we have to sing, no prayer book we need to open for this. Just being quiet enough and still enough and receptive and open enough to realize I am a living being. And that is mysterious and miraculous and beautiful. I did not create this life. I did not earn it. It has just come to me. I am a living being. Is that not amazing? Is that not extraordinary? Does that not present me with opportunities to create goodness and blessing in this world? Just remembering, not ignoring, taking the time to step away from busyness and distraction, to just remember, Chayani, as the Hebrew says, I am alive. There is love and praise in that remembering. So we're going to spend a little more time with the possibility of this knowing, this remembering of our own aliveness, by moving our attention ever so gently over to the fact that you and I are breathing. Of course, we've been breathing this whole time and this whole day and most of our lives up to this moment. But now we're not thinking about breathing, just experiencing it. So as you draw your next in-breath without changing anything, just see where you sense that breathing. There may be on your in-breath some coolness in your mouth or nose or the back of your throat. When you exhale, you feel that warm breath coming out from your body. You might also notice the way your rib cage expands and contracts as you breathe. Even breathing through your nose and noticing, oh, my nose is a little stuffy, or my nose is clear at this moment. Even that is noticing the breath. So we'll spend a minute or two just sitting peacefully and quietly like this, seeing what it's like to be interested, to be curious about our breathing in this way. And when, as will happen to everyone inevitably, your mind wanders off the breath, you go off into a story, forget about it, get distracted. When you notice that distraction, that is a moment of awakening, of coming back to this kavanah, this intention of being with the breath. So without any criticism, without any self-judgment, just I wandered off and now I am awake to this intention again, and I will just come back to my nishima. I'll just come back to my breath. So we're going to bridge into some of the words of the evening service by singing. And let's see. I was going to sing one of the melodies, one of the little chants to Kol HaNeshamata Hallelujah, but instead, let's do something without words that has kind of a happy mood to it. Some of you know this. If not, you can pick it up. It's got no words. It's what we always used to sing in the sanctuary on a Shabbat morning, especially when we had a life cycle event and there were lots of guests and everybody was there. It was a nice way to start the service. It has Hebrew words. We're not going to bother with them. Just to sing along with me if you know it, and if you don't, you can hum along or pick it up as you get it. We'll sing it through a few times. So it goes like this. Lie, 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 lie. Then that repeats. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. The next part's a little higher, goes like this. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. That's the whole thing. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Ya lie, 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 ya lie, 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 ya lie, 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 lie. La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Please don't rush. Please take your time. If your eyes have been closed, you can let them open whenever you feel like you are ready. Let's see. We have a bunch of copies of the prayer book over here. If somebody wants one, we'll pick up with some of the service. Yeah, got some. Yeah.
Please.
Anybody need one? Yeah. No.
Please. Por favor.
There you go. Por favor.
Thank you.
All right.
Got it.
Welcome. Okay. So the weekday evening service picks up on page 4 with the call to worship with Baruch Hu. And I'm going to go with my friend Joel that this is East. You know. Yeah, I guess. So we're on page 4, the call to worship. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. And we're over on page 6, this evening blessing, Ma'ariv HaRavim. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Asher Bidbaro Ma'ariv HaRavim, B'chochma Poteach Sha'arim, Ubidvuna Meshane Itim, Umachaliv et Hazmanim, Umesader et HaKochavim, B'mishmerotehem Barakia Kirtzono, Borei Yom V'layla Goleh Or Mipnei Choshech, B'choshech Mipnei Or, Uma'avir Yom Umevi Laila, Uma'avdil Ben Yom Ubein Laila, Adonai Tzevaot Shemo, El Chai V'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai HaMa'ariv HaRavim. And on page 8, we'll sing together this blessing about Torah as a gift of love. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim Otanu lemadeta Akein Adonai Eloheinu b'shofteinu uvkumenu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu Uvahem nege yomam v'layla v'yahavatecha tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Ohev amo Yisrael. Pages 10 and 11. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Everybody's free to have a seat. Let's see. We haven't actually just read the English of Yahavta for a while, so in the middle of page 12, let's Let's do that. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Accept them when you are at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus shall you remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai, your God, Adonai Elohechem Emet. We're going to go over to page 16. So this Shabbat is one of a handful of Sabbaths in the course of the calendar year that has a special name. This is Shabbat Shira, which I like to think means it was named after my kid, but whose name is Shira. But it was not. Actually, Shabbat Shira means the Shabbat of song, of singing, because the Torah portion this week, Bashalach, contains the Song of the Sea. And in the Song of the Sea is Micha Mocha, this part that we know and we sing all the time, a celebration of redemption and freedom and hope. So, in honor of Shabbat Shira, let's sing it. Let's see. Let's do this one. Yam bam bam bim bim bam ya ba 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 bim bam yam ba ba bim bim bam ya ba 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 bim bam ya 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 ba 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 bim bam ya 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 ba 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 bim bam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot osefele, Nora tehilot osefele, Ma'alechutecha ra'u vanecha, Bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Yam bam bam bim bim bam, Yam bam bam bim bam, Yam bam bam bim bim bam, Yam bam bam bim bam, ya 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 ya, Yam bam bam bim bam, ya 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 ya, Yam bam bam bim bam. On page 18, the third line of this prayer for rest and for a good night's sleep, we'll sing together this, in our world, very, very poignant, longing phrase, Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, spread over all of us a shelter of your peace. Uferos aleinu sukat shlomecha uferos aleinu sukat shlomecha ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 uferos aleinu sukat shlomecha la 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 ya la 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 la. Beautiful. Page 20, we have the Reader's Kaddish, and then we'll move into the Amidah, the standing prayer. Yikadav Yikadash Shemei Rabba V'Alma Divarachi Rute V'Amlich Malchute V'Chayechonu Yomechonu V'Chayerecho Beit Yisrael V'Agala U'Bizman Kariv V'Imru Amen Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach La'alam Olamei Amaya Yitbarach, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu le'lamin kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata tamiran v'yama v'imru amen. I think either you are all an extraordinarily good voice tonight, or it's the acoustics of this room, which are just really focus the sound, and it sounds great. So, page 74 is where the tefillah begins, and we'll chant the first few Hebrew blessings on the even-numbered pages as we do, and then just go off on our own. You can stand for this part of the service if you like, as customary or not, and we'll then just go off in the quiet prayer. When you feel like your prayer of the heart is finished, just have a seat. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah. Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, L'chayei HaKol, Ata Rab L'Hoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed, L'chayei HaKol, B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim B'Rovei Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayim Emunato L'Shenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Geburot, U'Midom Elach, Melech Meimit U'Mechayeh, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atah L'Chayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim B'chol Yom, Yehalelucha Selah, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. 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 Shabbat shalom, everybody. Oh, it's not Shabbat shalom. God, I did it. Happy Wednesday. Happy Yom Revi'i. Happy fourth day of the week. And thank you all for coming. What a nice, wonderful group we have here. So, as we said, this portion, the Torah that we read this week is called B'Shalach, and it contains the Song of the Sea. The Israelites are at the water. They hear this rumbling in the background. It's not thunder. It's the hoofbeats and chariots of Pharaoh's army pursuing them. In front of them, there's just this water that they can't cross. And the Israelites, as one does, panic and freak out, and they start screaming at Moses. And they say to Moses things like one of my favorite lines in the Torah, which is, Moses, is it because all the cemeteries in Egypt were full that you brought us out here to kill us? I mean, this is great moments. I mean, you think you know sarcasm? That's, as we would say, that's a burn, right? That's really a burn against Moses, right? And then there's this interesting line as the people are yelling at Moses. The next thing it tells you is God says to Moses, Ma titzak elai, which means, why are you yelling at me? To Moses, Daber el bnei Israel, speak to the Israelites, Vayisa'u, tell the Israelites to get moving. Tell the Israelites to move, right? Why are you yelling at me? So, one of the lacunae, if you want to use a fancy sounding term, one of the holes, right, in the text is that it doesn't say that Moses was calling out to God, right? God just says this, right? So the rabbis in their midrashim imagine that Moses was, in fact, crying out to God. And you can imagine what Moses would be saying. Help us, save us. I told you I never wanted this job, right? Whatever it is, right? Moses is I imagine Moses kind of flipping out, right? One interpretation of the line, Mati Tzakelai, why are you crying out to me? Daber el bnei Yisrael v'yisau, tell the Israelites to move it. The Midrash interprets God saying, Chris, it's great because the Midrash says what God really meant was, which is just wonderful, right? Is Moses, there's a time for long prayers and there's a time for short prayers. Guess what? This is a time for a short prayer, right? Daber b'nei Yisrael, speak to the Israelites and tell them to move. Just move, right? A corollary to this is interpretations of what actually happens at the sea. Whatever it is amazing. The rabbis say that what the most sort of common Israelite saw at the sea was greater than what every prophet combined saw. So it's kind of amazing. One reading is that the Israelites are really eager to cross the sea, and the different tribes are like trying to elbow each other out of the way. Me first, which I don't buy. I don't think they're fighting with each other over who dives into the sea first, right? And the other one is it's more like after you, no, you go first, right? No, please. What was that? There were these Warner Brothers cartoons characters. There were like these two chipmunks who were always endangering each other because they were so polite. Like the bear would be chasing them and they would get to their little hole and no, you first, no, after you, and Anyway, right. So who's after after you. So in that interpretation, there is a guy who, like, this is his Andy Warhol, like 15 minutes of fame in the Midrash. He gets really, like, very little attention in the Torah. His name is Nachshon, the son of Aminadav, right? And the story goes that Nachshon hears the ground rumbling and the hoof beats and sees the water, and everybody's frozen in fear in this version. And he's like, well, I can drown or I can get trampled. What do I prefer, right? So, well, I'd rather be walking with my head held high. We'll see what happens, right? And now there are variant versions of this, of course, because it's like a joke that you hear, and the person you're telling it to says, well, I heard it this way. It's funny, but this is not the way I heard it. So in one version, Moses has raised his staff, and nothing happens, and Nachshon starts walking in, and he starts singing Michamocha, the Song of the Sea. In one version, as soon as Nachshon puts his big toe in the water, it splits. What it takes is one person with the courage to just say, all right, I'm going, right? And the sea splits. There are other versions that say that it's not until the water is up to what in Yiddish is called his pupik, right? Right? If you remember the word pupik, right? Yeah. That it's not until it's like up to his waist that the water splits. There's another version that plays off the fact that if you ever thought of this, that in Micha Mocha, the first time you sing it in the Hebrew, in the Torah text, it's Micha Mocha. The second time it's Mika Mocha with the dot. So the interpretation is, well, Nachshon's walking through the water and says, singing Micha Mocha, and it's up to his belly button, and it's up to his middle of his chest, and it's like, and at this point he's in so deep that the water is like up to his lower lip. And the second time he sings Micha Mocha, the water enters his mouth and he kind of chokes on. He goes, Mika, right? And that's when the sea splits, right? That it takes literally being up to your neck in it, right, before like something happens. So there's a lot there about courage, and there is a lot there about leadership, and there is a lot there about faith and making choices even when a situation where it feels like there is no choice, like it's all sort of laid out, it's all determined. And in Hebrew, in modern Hebrew, the name of Nachshon is turned into an adjective to be Nachshoni. It's an adjective. And Nachshoni means to be a trailblazer. Right? If you're the kind of person who will move into the breach or move forward and everybody else doesn't want to move, right? You are a Nachshon, you're a Nachshoni. And I think it's not just about situations of potential physical peril. Often being a Nachshon can be the one person who's willing to say what everybody else is afraid to say. That's a Nachshon, right? A Nachshon can be, there's this meme going around right now, which is this little cartoon guy, and all you see out to the horizon are like a million billion people looking at them. And the caption is, actually, you're all wrong, right? Right? That's being a Nachshon, okay? So yeah, there's a lot in that story about all the different kinds of courage, and about sometimes it's time for short prayers, right? Like, yeah, it's move. My prayer is move, right? Like, that's it. Let's see what happens. Yeah, Abraham Joshua Heschel, I'll end with this, when he famously marched alongside Martin Luther King Jr. during the Selma bus boycott, they famously asked him afterwards, what did it feel like to be walking next to King, who was holding this Torah scroll? It was a famous picture of King. They brought a little Torah scroll. And Heschel famously said, I felt like I was praying with my feet. Sometimes you pray with your feet. Anyway, okay. Well, that was long and rambling. So let's go into our concluding prayers. Aleinu is on the sticker in the inside back cover, and if you would like to rise, you may. Aleinu l'shabeach Adon hakol, latei gedula liyotzer bereshit, shehu asanu k'shomrei ha'adama, v'hu samanu k'shnei ha'torah, shehu sam chayenu itam, v'goraleinu im kol ha'olam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishkachavim u'modim, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים,
HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'ne'emar Ve'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom ha'ahu, Yiyeh Adonai echad, U'shemo echad.
The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. Are there any names of friends or loved ones? John, Sharon Khan, your mom, who just passed away. Anybody else?
Michael Wardlaw just passed away.
Okay.
James Mosque. I'd like to name all of the Palestinian lives that have been lost since the ongoing genocide started.
We will continue on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael v'agala uv'yizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'alam u'le'omei amaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudesha barichu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata ta'amiran b'yama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. Well, we can't form a circle, really, but you can. It's
Oblong shape.
We're kind of an oblong shape here, so but we like to sort of gather in and say a prayer at the end. We are taught in Torah about Aaron, Moses' brother. And in the rabbinic tradition, Aaron is known as Rodef Shalom v'Ohev Shalom, that he is someone who, Ohev Shalom, who loves peace, and someone who Rodef Shalom, someone who pursues peace, chases after peace, because peace and justice are not something that falls into our lap. We have to chase after it. It is elusive. So may we draw upon the peace of this time that we have spent together. May we hold some of this peacefulness in our hearts and find our own ways, vayisa'u, to move forward and to share some of this inner peace with our world. Yivarechacha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may the Holy One bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, may the Holy One shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, may the Eternal be with you and give you peace in a world of justice, equality, safety, healing, and peace for all who dwell on earth. And together we say, Amen. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Steve.
Wow, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, if we can just, there's some shelf space for the books around. If we can just put those back, that would be great. Have a good rest of the week and a good Shabbat. Thanks for coming.
I wondered all my life why Mikamocha.
Yeah.